What's going on, team? Marcus from Wall Street Assassins back at it again with another video. Today is September 8th. We're looking at the economical calendar today, and today's the day we've been waiting for. Today's the day that Jerome Powell speaks. He speaks today at 9:10. So 9:10, right before the market opens, he's going to deliver his speech. And as you guys know, last time he spoke, the overall market basically took a big downfall, saying that he's going to be a lot more aggressive than what he was before. But right before he speaks around 8:30, we're going to get initial jobless claim numbers coming out. So not only that we're going to get Jerome Powell, today's a huge day because we're getting jobless numbers, and we're going to find out, are people going back to work, or are people not going back to work, or what's going on? Are people losing jobs? I know a lot of jobs and a lot of companies have been laying off their workers. As you know, Bed Bath and Beyond is closing 150 stores. A lot of other companies are forced to make a lot of hard decisions as because there's a slowdown in spending with the overall consumer. So that's overall driving the Fed to make these tighter or hard, rough decisions going forward. So let's see what the charts are looking like before he even speaks. So looking at the SPY over here, we're looking at the SPY on the 1 year, 1 day. Sorry about that. We're looking at the SPY on the 1 year, 1 day. Looking at the SPY, we can see that this is basically that mega pullback, right? We had that pullback over here around 420, and we start to basically sink towards like the 387s. We got a little bit more on the oversold side on the RSI. Oversold is more favorable for a possible bounce. And now we are basically right at that 1 year EMA or trade line right here. So basically want to see what happens today if we're going to break and hold above that 400 and start pushing up and start getting bullish and start pulling up higher, or are we going to reject it like we've done in the past and basically continue a downward trend? So that's going to be the main thing that we want to see today. Jumping over towards the 180 day, you can see the 180 days crossed up, kind of basically rejected this level before that 400 level, and we basically dropped all the way down towards like the 387s, 389s over here. So we want to see what's going to overall happen with that. Jumping over towards the 20 day, we did have a nice bounce yesterday, right? We basically went from basically those 390s, and we started to get above that 20-day SMA, which we're actually finding some type of support. Whenever you see a stock start going sideways, that means their stock is finding some type of support. So you definitely want to see what's going to overall happen over here as we start to find some type of support. Are we going to basically fade? Right now, the 20-day is crossed down pre-market, which is the first sign of bearishness. Second sign of bearishness is that overbought RSI on the 20-day. So that's another thing. So want to watch to see what's going to happen today, especially since we're overbought. The market's not shy from running overbought before, so we got to see what happens. But watch for a break of 400, and then we could start basically pushing up towards 404, maybe even going up towards 406, depending on if Powell speaks nicely or not. Or if the market's not agreeing with what he says, we kind of have some strong support right here. We have the 20-day SMA at 396, and then this orange line is representing the 180-day trade line. Right, so if we go to the 180-day, you can see the 180-day trade line is acting as some type of support, right? We've basically been holding above it. So if we break that 180-day trade line, we could start basically dropping back down towards 392 and maybe even lower from there. So you never know in this overall market. You got to stay on your toes for both possible outcomes. Next stock we're going to talk about is Tesla. Tesla has some resistance above. It has the 180-day SMA right here. So we need to get above that level around like that 287 before you can start basically pushing up towards 290. I believe Tesla did have some possible good news that they have some strong sales. Well, you never want to just jump in before that SMA right here, because this SMA can act as a wall. So watch for the break and hold above 287 before we push up towards 291. If we do start to come down, we're still above that 180-day trade line. So we need to break 280 before we could go to 275 and maybe lower from there. Next stop we're going to talk about is going to be Amazon. Looking at Amazon over here. Amazon, same kind of scenario as Tesla, right? Amazon, it could push up from 290, not 290, 129, all the way up towards the SMA at 132. That is possible. So if you want to go for an intermediate long position, you could go for that. But do understand that that SMA can act as resistance if you're trading Amazon. So if we do start to come back down and the market starts to pull back, Amazon could drop from 128 down towards 124, in which it found some type of support. A lot of these stocks that we're looking at, it's because of the recent run up. They're at the 20-day SMA on the downside, right underneath it or right above it, and we're a little bit more on the overbought. So we're kind of seeing a reoccurring trend. If we look at the 20 days, a lot of them are overbought. So Powell has a lot of work to do today to see if we're going to basically try to push us to the bullish side, or if he basically the market doesn't agree with what he's saying. All right, next what we're talking about is Apple, right? This is going to be the last one we're talking about, so make sure you guys leave a like on the video. Um, Watch Amazon for the break of 157 towards 160. 157 has been a previous support level over here. You see multiple times we dropped and bounced off that 157. So we need to break out of this range. Amazon's been actually, Apple's been actually trapped in the range over here going sideways for quite a while. You never really want to trade a stock in a range unless you're buying highs. You're basically shorting it and going long. Then you could basically capitalize from that off of day trading. But for long term, this is basically no real direction. So watch for that 157 break, and we could start going to 160, and watch for that 153 break, and we could start basically going down lower towards that 152, 150 on the possible downside. But main thing, I know a lot of you guys are going to be watching the SPY, especially since this is probably going to be one of the biggest movers, especially when Powell speaks at 9:10 into the bell. So let's see what happens. Hopefully you guys all have a green trading day. Leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.